Thank you guys for coming on today. Today we'll be working on kind of how to build a game. A lot of the games that you play on your phone or on your tablet, they may look really hard or intricate, but they're really kind of simple. And it's really easy to kind of build your own app, build your own game. With a lot of the platforms these days, again, a lot of them are built the way we use our curriculum, where you're using block-based coding to kind of program the functions into your game or your program to make it do what you want it to do. So today we're going to program a sports game. We're going to program different aspects of the game to make sure that it has the functions that you want to have. And then at the end, you can build your own game. You can kind of set, the rules for how you want to score points or how you want to lose points. And you can share that game with yourself, or you can share it with your friends, or you can send the link to that game to anybody you want. You could share it on social media, wherever you want. So it'll be your game. It'll be something you kind of build uniquely to yourself. And then once you go through that, there are other game platforms where you can go and kind of build your own game, play it on your phone, and share it with your friends. And hopefully, we're helping you guys kind of get in an intro to how you can build your own games, build your own apps, and share them. And hopefully one day, maybe you have an app in the Apple App Store or the Android App Store, where you can actually sell those games, and those games could be revenue generators for you. So it'll be fun. Again, we're building out a sports game, and our goal here again is just to get you guys some exposure to some of the skills, some of the coding skills that it will take to do some of these things, and really to let you know that sometimes some of these things sound really hard and really difficult, but they're really not. If you put your mind and a little bit of effort into it, if it's something that you want to do, you can do it, and you don't have to go to school for 10 years to be able to do it. You can just decide you want to do it, seek a little bit of information, and then you can just dive right in. But the most important thing is that if it's something you want to do, just get started. And you guys that are on the class today, you're taking that first step to just kind of get started and get interested and start to just kind of see how things work here. But from what you learned in the fundamentals, it won't be much different if you decide to go into app development or software development, game design. If that's something that you want to do, it's definitely available for you, and you can build a career or build your own company. So my name is Ellis Wims. Again, I'm a former NFL player. I played for the Bucks, the Seahawks, and the Vikings. Super Bowl champion with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2003. Graduated from Mississippi State University with a degree in technology teacher education. So I wanted to, teach tech classes, and I played football there. So I wanted to coach football, but I was blessed to be able to be drafted into the NFL, where I played for 8 years. So that was a great experience, and had a lot of fun, had a lot of great teammates, met a lot of great people. And now what I do is we run an organization where we teach computer science fundamentals to kids like you, to get kids more exposure to technology, more exposure to the opportunities that are in that space. So we taught classes to kids around the country. We teach it via video conference. We were teaching them in the classroom, but of course, nobody's in the classroom right now. So we had to kind of run an audible, change things a little bit, and now we're doing it, via video conference, where we're inviting kids to come on here and just kind of learn, get introduced, and have some fun. All right. So what we'll be doing today is we'll be programming a sports game, and again, we'll be programming it, the function of our hand or our shoe here in our soccer game, and you'll see that the format of this game will change from puzzle to puzzle. It will be programming it on how to score, how the ball reacts when it touches the shoe or it touches the walls in the game. So we'll be programming every aspect of this game. But if you're programming a game, the first thing you need to do is program your controls, because you want to be able to control the game. So we're gonna program our arrows, the arrows that we'll be using to control the game. So when left arrow, so when we click the left arrow, when we click this left arrow here, right, we want to move left. So you'll notice here that this little arrow here on the screen in our play area, if you were to press this arrow, once you press run, then that will control your arrows. You can actually do it on the screen. So if you were on an iPad or a touchscreen computer, you could use the arrows on the screen. If you have a keyboard, this will be programming your left arrow on your keyboard. So once we program the arrow, we click run, and again, it won't run your code until you run the program. So we click and run, and now we can move left. So we move over and we capture that flag. All right, so when we go to our second one, now we're going to program our left and our right arrow. So when we press the left arrow, we want our soccer shoe, to move left. When we press the right arrow, we want our soccer shoe to move right. All right, so now we're programming our shoe to move back and forth. So when we're playing our game, we can control it and it can get to the ball whenever we want to. So now when we press run, now you see we have our two arrows here on the screen. So you can actually control with the arrows on the screen, or you can use your directional arrows on your keyboard. So we're going to go left. All right. Right, so now we have our hockey stick, right? But it's the same premise. Again, you can pick whatever background you want, and you'll find if you wanted to build your own apps or build your own games, that whatever platform you use, it would give you options of what background you wanted to use for your game. So if you were doing something, building a game that you wanted the background to be a jungle, there'll be a jungle background that you could actually pick and place that background in your game. Or if you wanted it to be a roller rink or a racetrack, all of those backgrounds will be available to you. So when you're using these game design or app design platforms, just like in code.org, they'll give you options as far as what you want your background to look like and what components you want to add to your game. So here, we're programming the hockey puck and what the ball does when it hits the player. So when it hits the player, we want it to bounce. So when ball hits player, bounce ball. So we run. And again, if we didn't have that there, and we ran it, it would just go right by. And so you have to be able to tell the components in your game how you want them to react when they interact with other components in the game. So as things get more intricate, you have to program each component of your game to say, okay, how do I want this to react when this happens? What do I want to happen when this thing happens in my game? So here, when ball hits player, we want it to bounce. Now to bounce. All right, now the flag is on the top. You need to attach blocks to both of the when ball hits blocks to solve this puzzle. All right, so when ball hits player, we want the ball to bounce. When ball hits the wall, we want it to bounce. Because if we didn't program it to bounce when it hits the wall, it would just go away because we haven't told it what we want it to do. So again, each little component of your game, you have to make sure you program it to do what you want it to do. So we want it to hit the wall because we don't want our hockey puck to leave our game every time it hits the wall. All right. So again, when ball hits player, bounce ball. When ball hits wall, bounce ball. And again, as you go, you're just building in the different components in your game. All right, so attach blocks to each of the win blocks. Bounce the ball until it hits the flag. All right, so here, now we have to start playing the game a little bit. So we have to program our left and right arrow. We have to program for our ball to bounce when it hits player, when it hits the wall, and we're also adding in sound to our game now, right? So when left arrow, move left. When right arrow, move right. When ball hits player, bounce ball. And we want to be able to play a sound. So now we're adding sound into our game. And here from this drop down arrow, you can change that. You can change that sound to whatever you would like it to be. So with the ball bouncing, we want a bounce sound. Same thing here. When it hits the wall, we want it to bounce and we want it to play this sound. All right, so now you can see the components of our game kind of coming together. You can see that we got control of our shoe, right? We're putting in components to control the ball, and we're adding sound to the game. Oh, we lost. All right, so now we've added in our sound, we've added in our bounce, we have our directional keys. So now, now there's a goal at the top. Attach the score point and score opponent point blocks to the win ball and goal and win ball misses hand. This out of the way. Hand blocks to make a game. See how many points you can score before your opponent scores twice. All right, so here, again, we're building out more components into the game. So when we hit the left arrow, let's move left. When we move right, hit the right arrow, we want our shoe to move right. When ball hits player, we want the ball to bounce, and we want it to play the bounce sound. And then you can always move these components around here to organize your screen however you want. So I want this piece to be here. Anything that interacts with the ball, I want it on this second level here. So when ball hits wall, we want to bounce ball, play sound. When ball goes into the goal, when we make the field goal, we want to score a point, and we want to add in sound. So when we score, we want to hear the crowd cheering for us. Anytime that somebody makes a field goal, the crowd cheers. So we want the crowd cheering for us there. When ball misses the player, we want to score a point for the opponent. Again, we always hate when the opponent scores. I'm a former defensive player, so that usually makes me sad. So we'll get a whistle when the opponent scores. So now we have our arrows program, we have our ball program, we have the sound for our ball program. We have cheering to score a point and have them cheer when we score. We have them a score point for the opponent and a whistle sound when our opponent scores. So, one for the opponent.
What the?
One for me. Two for me. Oh, comes back. And with this one, okay, the game ends once the opponent scores twice. So now you kind of program each component for your game. All right, so you have your arrows, your balls, what happens when you score a goal, what happens when the ball gets past you when you miss the ball. All right, so you can now attach blocks to the win-run block. You have to attach the throw new ball block in more than one place. Also, try changing the scene or the speed of the hand in the ball and see how many points you can score before your opponent scores twice. All right, so win-run. So when using the win-run block, here's where you can kind of set different components for your game. So here's where you can set what you want the background to look like, what you want the player to look like. So when you click run, these are the things that will happen immediately in your game. So as soon as you start up, you want this to happen. All right, so one of the things we want to happen when we run the program is we want it to throw a new ball. Because to add a new ball again starts the game. So we can't play the game without a ball. So we want to throw a new ball when we start the game. All right. We want to set what we want the player to be. So I'm going to have it be our shoe. All right. Then we can set again our arrows. We're going to set when player hits ball, we want the ball to bounce. We want to play the sound. When ball hits wall, we want the ball to bounce. And we want to play this sound. All right. When ball and goal, again, we want to score a point for us. And we want to play our cheering sound. When ball misses player, we want to score opponent point. And we want a whistle to be played. Now also, when the ball misses the player, what happens is we're going to need a new ball. So when we miss, we need a new ball. When the ball goes in the goal, we're going to need a new ball. All right, so now I think we have a program where we get a new ball when the program initially runs. We get a new ball where we kick one through the goal, and we get a new ball when we miss it and the ball gets past us. And we can also set the speed, so kind of setting the difficulty level here, so we can have it go random. So sometimes it'll go fast, sometimes it'll go slow. We'll have our player speed, and we'll have that go fast. Right. So again, the win-run block, these are things that you want to happen as soon as you start the game. So you want a new ball, you want your player set, you want to set the speed of the ball, and that'll be at random. So it'll come slow, it'll come fast, which will make the game a little bit harder. And you can set your player speed, how fast you want your player to be able to move back and forth. You know what? Let's go back. I think I made a mistake somewhere in my code, which will happen whenever you're programming or building something or doing anything. You're going to make mistakes. So I think here where it says when right arrow, I put move left, and I needed to put move right. That one came out fast. You got me. I lost. I got to replay that one. Okay, I like it. It got me with the slow play right there. After I get this slow one in, it's probably gonna shoot a bullet right at my face. I got the angle. I do not have the angle. I gotta wait for it to come back. Let's reset it. Let's go fast. Oh. Get over here. Oh, what's that? All right, at least I won that one. So I won that one 4-2. All right, so create your own game. You're in charge here. You can change all the rules, mix and match sports, get creative. When you're done, click finish and let your friends try your game on their phones. So here's where, at the end of this lesson, you can kind of build out your own game. So you can build out your own sports game, and you can text it over to your friends and they can give it a try. So let's go win run. So here we can set our scene. So I set our scene as football. We can set our ball. So we'll set it football. We can set our player. Here. So we got our scene set as football set. We got our foot set here. And we want to be able to, when the game starts, throw a new ball. We want to set our player speed. our player speed. We'll set our player speed at fast. We're going to set our ball speed at fast. All right, so these will be the things that start when we initially run our program. But so that's what this is what your game will look like on your cell phone. All right, so we set that there. Now we can set our arrow functions. So we move left, move right. When ball hits player, again, we want to bounce ball, play bounce, bounce ball, play bounce. When ball in goal, we want to score a point. We want to cheer. When ball misses, we want to score opponent point. And we're going to play a whistle there. When ball in goal, we want to throw a new ball. When ball misses player, we want to throw a new ball. And we can also say, okay, when the ball hits the wall, we're going to change our setting to random. So whenever that ball hits the wall, we're going to change our setting to random. So your game will constantly change. Your game will constantly change every time it touches the wall. All right, let's see. Let's see, every time we score a goal, we'll change our ball to random. Every time it hits player, so now our game will be constantly changing. Every time the ball hits player, every time the ball hits the wall, every time you score a goal, let's see, every time you miss player. So our game will be constantly changing. Ah. Now, when I click, if you go through this lesson and once you click finish, then it'll give you an option here to be able to copy and paste this link. All right, so this is the link to the game that I just created. So if you go through this lesson, you can go in and you can use the components that you have to build whatever game you want, right? So just out of the few variations we have of code here in our toolbox, you can go in and do a mix of creating whatever game you want, whatever functions you want. And then once you finish and you click finish, you can click send to phone. You can put in a phone number here. And then it'll send you a link of this game to your phone. So if there's a phone, your mom's phone, or if you have a device, you can send this link to that phone. And then once you have this link on your phone, you can click that link and you can play the game that you just designed. All right. There's also a QR code here where you can scan that QR code with the phone, and you can pull up your game. And there are several other lessons that you can do that would allow you to do this. Like the Minecraft lessons would allow you to build your own Minecraft game and send yourself that link. So here you can start to take the components that they provide for you here and create whatever game that you want to create based on the parameters that they provide, which I think is really, really cool. So again, you not only get to just play the games that are available to you on your phone, you can kind of design your own game, create your own thing, text it to yourself, and have some fun. If you go to our website, you can go here to our program resources. You can take a look at some different coding concepts here, right? You can take a look at how computers work. You can look at some careers in tech, right? How the internet works. So if you go to our program resources, you can take a deeper dive into some of the concepts that we do. You can also go here and say, if you wanted to look at the Minecraft lessons that are available, we have all of them here. So you can go to our website, and that's athletesforcomputerscience.org. So you can go here and take a look at some of the other tutorials that are available. If you go to our website, go up here to try a lesson, and you have your Minecraft, you have your IR code lessons, where you can go look at a video to see kind of what the lessons are about. The lesson that we just did here, Play Lab, where you can create your own story. Flappy Code, where you can create your own game. So go to our website and go to try a lesson and just try a lot of these lessons out. Find things that are interesting to you, that are fun to you, and just start to just continue to learn these concepts. And again, our goal for you guys is, when you get to high school, when it's time to decide what you want to do in college, you'll have a perspective from a technology perspective of what you want to do, what career you want to chase, what you want to be in your life, and you have this perspective of technology and programming, and you can really kind of understand how technology can help you in whatever job that you want to accomplish. So if you want to be an architect, if you want to be a fashion designer, if you want to be an athlete, there's technology, there is software that can help you do whatever it is that you want to do. The more interested you become in how this software works, the better it can help you kind of understand how it can drive you in your career. So again, thank you guys for joining us. Again, at Athletes for Computer Science, our goal is to really help inspire you and get you to kind of be more interested in technology and the ways it can help you when you're looking at what career you want to have. Again, every single company, every single industry is becoming a software company, and software is a part of that industry. So the more interested you get in how software is built, the more interested you get in how technology can help you drive you to that career that you want, the better off you'll be when it's time to really, really make those hard, concrete decisions about how you spend your time and what you spend your time learning. And you know, I'm from the great state of Mississippi, and there's been a great push in the state of Mississippi to develop computer science education because they know that in order for the economy to grow, they need a pool of people in the workforce that have and understand these skills. So you know, I want to be a part of making sure we help make you aware of the platforms that you can use to just start to introduce yourself to these skills. So again, when it's time to make a decision on what I want to major in, what I want to study, what I want to be, you have a clear clear vision for your life, and it's clear on what you want to be. Again, continue to come to our website at Athletes for Computer Science. We will send out an email with this video. We'll send out some more information, some links to some different classes, some different sites that you could use, and continue to be interested in technology. So again, thank you guys for joining us today, and I will see you next week.